Shabbat Shalom. As should surprise absolutely no one, I have been a big old Jewish nerd about Jewish stuff for pretty much all my life. I have been involved almost exclusively with Jewish organizations my entire life. Way before I was a rabbi, even before rabbinical school. I did all the things. I was Jewish preschool teacher, youth group advisor, Hebrew school teacher. I was Hillel president 2 years in a row. I ran unopposed. It was a small Hillel. And because I was from the area that our university was in, before Pesach, I would take students in my car, usually younger students who didn't have their own transportation, and I'd pile everyone into my little two-door Saturn to the one grocery store we had that had like all the kosher food. And I remember this one time, I was in my junior or senior year of college, and I'll never forget this. I'm just in there pushing my cart along, and younger students are all around me. They're just kind of staring big-eyed at all these kosher for Passover options. And they start picking out the things that they want. I'm pushing the cart. That's my job. Push the cart. And I see a display. This one display was something that I actually wanted for myself for Pesach. And I'm not even trying to take it, toss it in the cart. Suddenly, all these little freshmen and sophomores around me, they stop what they're doing, and they look at whatever thing they picked out for themselves and what I picked out for myself, and they all put back what they got and all took the exact brand of the thing that I had immediately. And I remember thinking in that moment, guys, you can get whatever you want. Get what you want. You don't have to do what I'm doing. When did I say, oh, you have to buy what I buy for Passover because I'm the president of Hillel? Darn it. I never said that. But the truth is, I was their Jewish leader. And maybe I wasn't trying to set an example, not intentionally, but I was leading them, perhaps more subtly than I thought. We actually see that in the Parsha, the part of the Torah that we read this week. Everyone always focuses on Moses. Moses' leadership. Moses is the great leader of the Jewish people. Because he was, well, literally the leader, so that's fair. But we see an amazing illustration this week of another kind of leadership. Two kinds, actually, by one entity. As the Israelites are journeying through the desert to go to the promised land, we learn Ki anan Adonai al mishkan yomam, over the tabernacle, a cloud of Adonai rested by day. Ve'esh tiyeh labo, and fire would appear in it by night, in the view of all the house of Israel throughout their journeys. God is not hidden during this exodus from Egypt and the journey towards the Holy Land, as the Israelites are struggling with their newfound freedom and all the rights and responsibilities that entails. God is visibly their leader. God's presence is clear and known. But God is a dynamic leader and leads in different ways. Sometimes God is a cloud, like vapor, quiet and calm. Strength through silence, listening more than speaking. And sometimes God is fire, forceful and self-assured, strength through assertion, loving but firm. In this way, God's way, teaches us that both leadership styles are necessary at different times. We have the ability to impact people when we are forceful and also when we are reserved. I didn't think of myself as that kind of a leader when I was Hillel president all those years ago. I thought of myself as a leader for Hilleli stuff, leading Friday night services or picking out what we were going to have for Shabbat dinner, or driving students to go to services and do Tikkun Olam projects. I didn't think of buying a certain brand of kosher for Passover cheese or whatever was leading, but I underestimated my own leadership ability, the different ways in which one can lead other people. The younger students looked at me as a dugma, we say in Hebrew, an example. And the food I deemed fit to eat myself was clearly the right food to eat, and they adjusted accordingly. even if it wasn't my intention at all to have that effect. Really, God is showing us that these two ways to lead, subtle and forceful, as a reminder and a warning. A reminder in that we have, each of us, in ourselves, amazing power to help show other people the way to be good and to do good. And when we feel firm and assertive, that's great. That's divine, even, and sometimes very necessary. And when we feel like assertive is not in our nature or not called for, we can lead through example, through calm, and that is just as divine and sometimes very necessary. But this is also meant to serve as a warning, I think, a warning that we may not always think we are being leaders, that others, they're not watching us, they're not listening to us. What can we do that could possibly impact other people's lives? But that's the thing about life. We are constantly in relationship with other people, with our families, with our friends, with our classmates or our coworkers, our community, our country, our world. And how we choose to act influences and affects all those systems of people that we are so blessed to live with in holy relationship. We, each of us, each of you has the power to influence and affect and impact through might and through quiet. So the next time you doubt your ability to lead, your capacity as a leader, remember, you were created B'Tselem Elohim in the image of God, a God who leads both through firmness and softness, and always through love. And that the people around you, your family, your community, and yes, even the world, need you, however you choose to lead. We need your might, and we need your quiet. We need you. Shabbat Shalom.